Hello everyone, welcome back into the channel. I think many people are facing the same question in their mind. Is the bull market over? I think many people that have entered the markets are indeed fearing that the crypto markets are bleeding out a bit too much for their liking, and even questioning, is the bull market over? Well, we've just had the Bitcoin halving, classic sort of scenario. We get the Bitcoin halving, we see Bitcoin go down in price following the halving, because before the halving you get that pre-halving hype and rally because of all the FOMO, the hype and euphoria that surrounds it with all the bullish articles. But since then, we've kind of just dropped down in price. Nothing really too interesting has happened. We hit the 73k all-time high, which is fantastic. But again, since then, not a lot has happened. We've seen a 30% correction. So let's talk about crypto, sort of news side of things, Bitcoin, quick update here on this channel. Do I think that bull market is over? Absolutely not. I do not think the bull market is over at all. I do remember sort of March 2020 was when we had the COVID crash. So right here we had that 24% drop. Then we had a massive recovery. Then the bull market kind of started around October 2020, if I remember correctly. And we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 consecutive bullish months in a row. We then had 3 red, we had a couple sort of green, a few red, a few green, and then we went into the major sort of 2022 where things sort of hit the top, hit the ceiling as well. So I think we're probably halfway. We're probably about halfway. We've had 2023 start off super strong. January to April was 4 green months in a row. Then we had a kind of crappy summer. And if you look at all the summers from May to August, to be fair, you're averaging not that many greens. In 2022, you had 3 reds between those months. You had 2 reds in 2021. You did only have 1 red in 2020, but that was quite a bullish year anyway for Bitcoin. You had 2 reds in 2019. I suppose it's about 50-50 again. So this May to August sort of sector, this Q2 quarter coming up, I don't expect to be massively bullish, but I would hope to see, because you can see here, like in 2015, you had that last Q3, Q4 chunk all green, and the last bull market we had, that chunk was all green as well, the one that started the bull market. And I think we will finish on a green September, October, November, December, and then bleed out into 2025, and it could be all sort of done and dusted. But yeah, I'm dragging, guys. 67 on that fear and greed index. Looking at the 200-week moving average here for Bitcoin, we can see we've barely even touched the yellow territory. We've barely even come out of blue, and that blue sort of highlights an area where we've not really hit that extreme greed. We've not really got those overbought levels just yet. So I do think there's a long way to go. In conjunction with this, we just had some good news as well. Hong Kong spot crypto ETFs debut tomorrow. 6 things to know before the launch of spot cryptocurrency ETFs in Hong Kong on April 30. That is today. So the city's ETF market accounts for 0.6% of the entire US ETF market. So that is crazy, guys. I just want to say, if you're new to the channel, you've not watched my videos before, but you do want to hit your crypto goals, please do hit the subscribe button down below. Anyway, the cryptocurrency community is eagerly awaiting a significant industry event as Hong Kong is poised to launch for trading for spot Bitcoin and Ether exchange traded funds on April 30. 3 Chinese firms, China Asset Management, Basora Asset Management, and Harvest Global Investments, are expected to launch crypto ETFs. So this could very much help traditional markets access Bitcoin and blockchain assets. And of course, China, Japan, Asia itself is such a massive stakeholder in the blockchain industry. It's worth millions, billions. So this will be a massive contributor to the overall blockchain markets and really should lift the confidence. Now, looking at the BLX chart here for Bitcoin, I am happy to see actually that Bitcoin has come down in price, because it went from these overbought greedy levels. You can see the sub 70 RSI here a few times, and it's touched from 2023 about 80 plus on the RSI, just a good 3 times, and we have actually come down to about 38 on the RSI. We're not quite in that oversold level. We're not in a level where I'm comfortable to put like a 10k position into Bitcoin, because it's not come down low enough for me. But overall, we are starting to see a little bit of capitulation and overall just a price drop here in the markets. But look at that, guys. You can't say we're in a bear market. We are sitting at $63,000. Now, let's reflect to last time we were at this level. The markets were pumping, people were excited, people were screaming, you had everyone talking about Bitcoin. This time around, we're back at $63,000, but we're not feeling that euphoria. In fact, we're kind of feeling boredom. We're feeling, well, what's actually happening? Nothing's really happening. I'm a bit bored. We've been here already. It doesn't feel like real, actual blockchain on-chain growth right now. It just feels like a pause, a hole in the markets. So it's hard to exactly say where I think we are. But if we look at this sort of this bottom here where we did a 3x up to where we are, kind of reminds me of the COVID event where we had, of course, the crash. We had sort of the bottom and we came up to like this level here. So I feel like we've done about half of what we need to. I don't feel like we are anywhere near where we should be, because if you think about it, we've bottomed out, and you could argue that, let's say this is the actual real bottom here. $3,000 was the real bottom of the last bull run before 2020. Now, if we use that as like an example, by the time we broke even to that previous level, Bitcoin could still go up on this particular entity and have a 2.7x. It actually went up quite tremendously. And if we use our Fibonacci's here, from that market cycle top to this bottom, it came up to just above the 2.618 Fibonacci level right there. And if we were to drag this market cycle previous, of last year, all-time high, down to the local bottom, we've actually got $141,000 that we should be hopefully speculating to see. Now, I think that is quite inflated. I think we might see about $93,000 to $120,000, but I still really expect Bitcoin to at least get to this region here before we are truly done and dusted. And whether that just takes a few months of consolidation here, or come down even to $50,000 before that happens. We might have to drop a little bit, guys. We might have to come down 20%, trade sideways for a few months, and then have one last blast into this region here. That is what I really expect to happen. And whether we stay there for a week or 2 weeks, I have no idea. It won't be a long time. We will eventually get there. You can see last time we chilled at that all-time high level for 30 days. Well, 30 days up in those very, very euphoric tops. So if we do get there to the top, it's just going to be a very short period. It's only going to be like a 30-day sort of consolidation. Is it a bull flag? Is it a bear flag window? And once you do get into that 100k plus territory, that's when you do want to start selling in tranches, taking some profits, not financial advice, but moving chips off the table, because the time to add the chips to the table was here in 2022. This was your real and only window to be adding chips to your blockchain portfolio in mass quantity, and anything else along the way is just buying those red days so you could reduce your average entry cost, so you could buy the dips every time. So effectively, by doing that and buying the red days, your average sort of buy-in journey would look like, well, I know that's not going to look like that, but your average buy-in journey should kind of look like, I want to say like this. Whereas if you were just buying every single time those green candles, it's kind of obvious to say that your buy-in journey is going to look like this if you were to FOMO in every single time. So you can see here, this illustrates, the blue line being the FOMO buyer and the red line being the sort of buyer that waits for the dip. You can see how much lower your average entry is. Doesn't matter where I go on the chart. If I were to assume you're the buyer doing smart things, you are already up so much versus the FOMO buyer. So make sure you do buy those dips. You can see on average you'll be getting about a 20% discount on your Bitcoin and any other currencies out there if you're buying the red days. So remember, that is your number one go-to tool that anyone can do. You don't have to be a genius. Buy the red days in the bull market and sell those green days. Anyway, I am blabbering on. Yeah, so Bitcoin has unfortunately lost that ascending triangle pattern that we recently had here, which kind of sucks. But right now it did find support at 60k. It also found support at 62k right over there. And if it can hold this sort of level for a while, I don't know how long it needs to like hold this level for. But at the end of the day, if we can retest 67, that's brilliant. But there is always the chance that we're going to break below $60,000 here, guys. That is the reality of it. Don't know how long it will take. We could just blip down to this, $50,000 region over here, and then, like I say, make headway up to those 60, 70, 80k regions after we touch down at 50k. Maybe that needs to happen, because on the daily, like I say, we did not hit yet an oversold relative strength index. We've not yet had that shakeout, that real big shakeout. We've not seen it yet. And if we go to the weekly time frame, you can very much see, looking at the relative strength index, again, I've got my blocks here for true accumulation. I mean, like the accumulation where you freaking go crazy. And at the end of the day, I'll just change these colors, but this is the exact strategy I'll be following next crypto bull and bear cycle. So next bear cycle, I will be 100% following the strategy. In fact, what I'm going to do right now in this video is show you a little secret on how I'm going to do that, and you can also do that. So we're on the Bitcoin USDD chart. What I'm going to do is here, we're on the weekly time frame, and I want to buy Bitcoin when it hits the next weekly oversold relative strength index. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add an alert here for you guys to show you exactly how I do this. And what I'm going to call it is the Bitcoin USD weekly oversold, no, I'll call it sub 30 RSI. So indicator buy. This means to me buy Bitcoin when it goes this low, and this is exactly what I will be doing. So now as soon as this happens, I'm going to change the regular bullish divergence. I'm going to click on less than. So when the RSI now goes below 30, as we can see by the value that I've input, I'm going to be told to buy Bitcoin when it goes below 30 on the RSI on the weekly time frame. So this should be a very, very bullish indicator for me. I've now added it. The alert is there. One day I'm going to get that alert and be able to buy into Bitcoin at this key level in the fear. And you can also add those alerts on the inverse, on the highs, you know, in the greed, where you should be effectively selling. And every time the markets do the same thing, year on year, month on month, cycle on cycle, it's the same crap, different cycle. We are human beings, and you cannot change what is in this skull up here, what is within the cranium. You can't change the psychology of a human being. It could take 1 billion years to do that, or 1 million years, some sort of crazy evolution and genetic overhaul in order to change how we think. And it's not gonna happen, because we can't allow emotions to, unless you're some kind of psycho, we can't live without our emotions. So anyways, new record. Bitcoin processes 1.6 million confirmed payments in a day. This is of course quite bullish, isn't it? The launch of Bitcoin runes played an important role in the spike in the total number of transactions over the Bitcoin network. It says here, amid Bitcoin increasing, actually it's decreasing, used for day-to-day purchases, the Bitcoin network recorded the highest number of confirmed payments on April 23, 3 days after stepping into new halving cycle. So we're seeing on-chain growth. More people are using the Bitcoin network, the BRC20 network, and all that juicy stuff as well. And interestingly, this guy here, Chart Veteran, who predicted Bitcoin's 2018 collapse, says the bull market may be over. I don't think that's true. And it goes by Peter Brand, veteran chart and analyst and CEO of Factor LLC, who was previously uber bullish on Bitcoin. He's now switched sides, apparently. So that's kind of crazy to see someone who was very bullish now believe on the inverse. Now, I don't really believe that's true. I think we are still, at worst, we're maybe 70% through. And I think if we're going to get anything, it'll be at the very end of the year, where we'll see that last blast to the upside. But we haven't really had an impressive all-time high yet, I'll be honest. 69k versus 73k is nothing to feel too kind of like, whoa, this is crazy about, you know. But yeah, guys, look, if you're in the crypto markets and you do want to unlock trading signals as well as early insights around the next sort of most upside potential based pre-sales, straight to DEX coins, stealth launches, my Patreon is down below. Do consider supporting. There's 19 crypto legend slots available. You will get trading signals, over 500 signals a week. Also got more budget friendly packages like the Crypto Champion and also the Crypto Warrior. We hope to tailor to all people across every region, every country. So hopefully it's not overpriced, but we've priced it where we perceive to be perfectly. So check out my Patreon down below. Make sure you do subscribe if you want to find out more about crypto news, insights, the next big sort of coins, altcoins and meta in the space. And thank you for watching this video. See you soon. Like the video to let the world know. And yeah, take care, guys. Not financial advice. Stay crypto safe. Peace.